few 30 odd seconds for the signal to propagate. We'll go ahead and get that started. And Twitch typically is still a little bit behind. There we go. Now we're online. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this music is too loud, because on my end it is a little bit too loud, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. But then there it sounds like it's way too low, and I'm not even sure whether my voice is nice and loud enough, but we shall carry on. Right, so today, as per the title, Cardano Catalyst FUND2 voting results. As you can see here, we can't see my mouse, my cursor, but I'm circling the bit on the screen that says voting results. Yeah, so the results are in, and we're going to be going through those today, just sort of high level, and I'll be giving some of my very biased opinions. The idea here is hopefully to keep this nice and short, but yeah, first and foremost, we'll start over here with the blog post that Mr. Dorr put together for us. First and foremost, I think I'll just sort of speak to, I suppose, FUND2 has been frustrating for most, and I feel like, you know, right up until this announcement of the votes, we were told that it would take a while to tabulate votes, and they said that part of why they, you know, gave a whole bunch of days after the voting stopped was, you know, just in case stuff, you know, sort of didn't go according to plan, which I completely understand, but I feel like it would have been great to actually like keep the community posted, right? Be like, okay, you know, it didn't, you know, the results didn't come out today. You know, most likely they're gonna come out, you know, tomorrow or something like that, right? Because this feels like, okay, guys, we need to get these results out before we, you know, start the second, you know, the next town hall, right? Because the next town hall is tomorrow. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, the results are out and we're about to go through them. And interestingly enough, I'm actually quite excited, not particularly because of these results, and not because CAS did not predictably end up actually getting enough votes. It's actually from a conversation that I just had not that long ago, a video call with about a handful or so community members, talking about the possibility of identity and wallets and stuff. It was a call that Roberto from Gimbal Labs sort of put together. And yeah, it was really exciting, and I look forward to actually sharing some stuff with the community about that tomorrow on Proto, so before the town hall. Right, so let's jump into this. Project Catalyst, the first winning proposals. Project Catalyst, so today, January 21st, there you can see Dorr Gabash, the product manager. Yeah, so this is on iohk.io, like the letters iohk.io, and yeah, you'll find this under blog posts. It should be one of the latest ones. So Project Catalyst is an ongoing experiment in exploring decentralized innovation and collaboration at its highest level. As a first stage in the Voltaire roadmap, it challenges participants to pool their ingenuity, creativity, and passion to identify groundbreaking projects that support Cardano's growth. So what part of the reason why? Because normally when I start these catalysis sessions, I tend to actually describe what catalyst is. I didn't do so because obviously the thing just explained it. So let's carry on reading here. FUND2 was the first time that Project Catalyst participants pitched, debated, refined, and voted on proposals using real ADA. I feel like ADA should be capitalized there. This was aimed at enhancing and bringing new value to Cardano. We challenged FUND2 participants to come up with ways to encourage Cardano ecosystem development in the next 6 months, with an available initial ADA fund worth $250,000 equivalent. We're able to fund 11 proposals. Oh God. Excuse me. This is actually right in line with my, well, not really right, but I said around 10. I predicted that only about 10 projects are going to end up being funded, and lo and behold, it's 11. Right, so today we are thrilled to announce the funded proposals in FUND2. Pool tool, platform upgrade, opening avenues to build businesses and applications on Cardano that differentiate between stake pool operators by offering additional products. This upgrade is aimed at increasing infrastructure diversity across Cardano. This was an interesting proposal by basically community members who have 3 different stake pools, and yeah, it was a really well laid out proposal. I'm not going to say whether I voted for or against or abstained against any of these applications, because I don't think that would be good form. Anyway, okay, moving on. Ouroboros of Arena, deploying a proof of concept stake pool and relay solution of Ouroboros of Arena using Ethernet/WDM at 2 sites in Tokyo, Japan. I think the other site in this context was Okinawa, possibly. I think, if I remember the proposal right. Okay, yeah. So Ouroboros of Arena, that was that. So that was the second one. This isn't in any particular order, by the way. We're gonna see sort of a breakdown of the amount of funds in the next section. So number 3, Haskell/Plutus Marlowe education, creating educational content that conveys complex information in a structured way, supplemented with examples that inspire ideas. This proposal makes it easier for new developers and entrepreneurs. Yeah, so that's yeah. By the way, just for those who don't know, Haskell, Plutus, and Marlowe are programming languages. I suppose you could technically call Marlowe a programming language. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't entirely clear what the hell those are to someone who's say new to this. Right, so let's scroll down. Create a message signing standard. Generate a message signing standard to prove reserves, identity, and stake pool delegation. This one was interesting because it was from Sebastian, and from what I understand, it wasn't just him, Sebastian, the individual from the community. It was him, the employee of Emergo, putting forward this proposal. And one of the things I've said about this before is, it sort of brings up the question as to whether the 3 entities who are already quite well funded and have their own sort of separate commercial endeavors that are revenue generating, whether it makes sense for them especially at this stage. I think they're cognizant of that because from what Sebastian has said is that part of the reason why the amount that they asked for was so little was just to kind of get folks to to understand. Hopefully, I don't choke this time. To get used to the idea of potentially having these companies actually put forward proposals. So yeah, I feel like that actually wasn't a much of a healthy conversation regarding that specifically, like the nature of that. Sort of companies, because even the arena one is from a company, so to speak, but they are not associated in any form by or to any of the three entities which are sort of responsible for either community, commerce, or computation. The three elements um, which basically serve in the best interest in terms of developing or preserving and developing those aspects for the Cardano community. Right, so I forget what number we're on, but it doesn't really matter because, again, these are not in any particular numerical order. Liquid. Cardano lending markets for decentralized finance. Create an open source, non-custodial liquidity protocol to earn interest on deposits and borrow assets on Cardano. Okay, right. So Cardano for mobile dApp developers. Turning mobile platforms into first-class citizens. The dApp world with mobile SDKs, mobile first dApps, dApp experience, and App Store compatibility. This bit, given that Apple, because it says App Store specifically, right? App Store it's a registered trademark of Apple specifically, so they're not talking about just like the generic idea of an app store. So going with that, I think this is going to be very much a non-starter, given that Apple have, from, a little while back, from them forcing Coinbase to basically deactivate a bunch of functionality within the Coinbase wallet app. And I feel like there's something else crypto related which happened more recently. So basically, Apple is no friend of crypto, and to a certain extent, it's understandable because it fundamentally undermines their business model. And I think it's about time that they rethought their business model, because they are going to be in a world of hurt if they don't. Because they're trying to stop the inevitable, right? It's like trying to stop a wave with your hands, or a tsunami kind of thing. Anyway, so Jimba Labs, Jimba Labs, excuse me, starter kits and tools. Jimba Labs is, I'm joking, is Gimbal. Gimbal Labs is a startup platform providing free and open source APIs, lessons, and project-based learning resources to help people bring their ideas to life on Cardano and so drive adoption of the blockchain. And whilst we're at it, an important point to highlight here is that Gimbal Labs, and this is sort of in context with the other, 60 odd proposals which did not manage to get enough votes. Gimbal Labs actually did not achieve this success in its first round, right? This is actually, it started in FUND1, and at that point it was just James, with just one aspect, which is the educational aspect. He then, in FUND2, or between FUND1, from feedback from FUND1 and into FUND2, he then, got together with Julie and Roberto and formed Gimbal Labs, right, which then, became a richer experience where you have, the addition of the APIs into that, and sort of like, I suppose, the marketing aspect as well, communications aspect. So the sort of three all kind of complemented each other. Right, so That's Jimbo Labs. Lovelace Academy for Marlowe and Plutus, establishing an online academy to attract, inspire, and educate individuals and companies to create applications on Cardano smart contract and native assets platform. A lot of these seem to be like run-on sentences, right? Because you feel like you have to take a breath partway through it, but like no commas, have to power through. But yeah, so yeah, again, education, interesting. Sign transaction Arduino. Okay, that's a bit of a weird sentence for Arduino. Basically, sign transactions for Arduino. Start a library code written in the C programming language that is compatible with the Arduino development environment. Sign local Cardano transactions in advance of smart contracts being available to enable applications for the Internet of Things. Okay. I feel like this might be the second to last or something. Pet registry dApp with APay. Or AdaPay, I think. Helping developers accept ADA payments on websites. The Pet Registry dApp, built on AdaPay or APay, will service a global audience in a cheaper, better way. Devs are inspired by successful apps and the tools needed to build them. By creating both, we can inspire and accelerate devs and their solutions. Okay, ooh. Yeah, that was the second to last one. So here we are. So and the last one, not last but not least, again, this is not in any order of importance. Japan Cardano Governance Association. Meetings and communities and podcasts. Supporting online/offline meetups. Governance, podcasts, etc. for our Japanese community. So yeah, we have, the Cardano community has a huge following in Japan. We do have roots there, so it totally makes sense. And actually, I'm quite looking forward to interacting with that community and doing some ongoing stuff in the context of Cast. On behalf of the project Catalyst team, we want to congratulate all of these exciting projects. Each funded team will receive their ADA by the end of January, so they can begin bringing their forward to seeing the impact of these projects on the Cardano ecosystem. We also want to extend our congratulations and gratitude to everyone else who participated in FUND2. Our proposers, community advisors, collaborators, and voters had a hand in making FUND2 a success. Project Catalyst is all about putting the community in command of Cardano, and you have demonstrated that the future of our ecosystem is in very good hands. Although 11 ideas have been funded this time, a number of strong contenders met the community voting threshold, but missed out on funding this time. In the linked PDF, these projects highlighted in green have secured community funding. Those in yellow were approved for funding by the community, but the Treasury did not have enough funding to support their proposals. We'll be encouraging these proposers to resubmit their ideas for the just launched FUND3, where relevant, with its focus on dApp ecosystem. And we hope to see the best of these funded by the community next time. We have bold, ambitious plans with Project Catalyst in 2021, with ADA worth millions of dollars being made available to fund innovation on Cardano. Submission for proposals for FUND3 will open tomorrow. Don't miss out on the opportunity to make your voice heard. If you'd like to join the Project Catalyst community as a proposer, community advisor, implementer, or voter, please join us on Idea Scale, start innovating alongside the network of participants. Yeah, so that's that. And then a quick bit here. When can we expect voting rows to be distributed? This was not actually covered. Obviously, in the article it says that the funding going to the proposals will happen in by the end of January. But people who actually voted, I think, as well as people who reviewed, so like community advisors, I don't think they got their rewards yet, so that would be interesting to find out. So this is the breakdown, the PDF that is referenced in there. Excuse me. Right, so what's of value here that I wanted to highlight was, so here you've got the breakdown of the amount of votes votes up and votes down that each project got. What I wanted to highlight was, let's just scroll back down here. So yeah, this top is just the highlight of the 11, and then down here you have a breakdown of each one. Excuse the illegible, yellow, bright yellow and white. Just this is not good design, guys. Consider contrast, accessibility. Yeah, so yeah, you've got the amount of money that was requested here, converted into US dollars, and then the amount of votes up in ADA, the amount of votes down, and then this is just sort of a sequence, sort of taking away bit by bit the amount of money inside the treasury, as each bit actually sort of gets funding. Yeah, so as you can see there's a green, there's the yellow, and then further down you've got the red, right? So the not funded. Yeah, so yeah, as I was saying, I think for those who did not receive funding, just keep in mind that one of the most successful or more successful projects on here, Gimbal Labs, did not strike oil the first time around, but the second, and obviously as the fund size increases, and as given that some of you who've already been through FUND2 are now familiar with the nature of what it takes, I think it makes sense to consider starting again, or joining FUND3 with that advantage of having been part of FUND2. Yeah, I feel like there's another thing that I wanted to add, but it's not actually coming to mind. Anyway, yeah, this was supposed to be nice and brief. Not actually sure whether it was, but let's see, 23, yeah, not bad. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully this was somewhat insightful.